On a snowy city street sat Ethan, a 10-year-old boy with empty eyes and an empty stomach. He had never known the comfort of family or home. Crowds rushed past, arms full of bags, eyes fixed ahead. To them, Ethan was invisible, just another shadow in the cold. Through the diner's glass, he watched steam rise from bowls of soup. His heart ached for nothing more than a warm meal. But one woman slowed her steps. Anna noticed what the others had missed: the small boy shivering alone. She knelt down and placed a warm sandwich in his hands. Her smile said more than words. "You matter." Ethan stared, clutching the sandwich as if it might vanish. His eyes welled with tears. Kindness felt foreign, yet precious. Behind her, David watched carefully. His look was cautious, but there was warmth in his eyes. Sophie ran ahead, clutching her doll, smiling brightly. "Go ahead, eat," she said with innocent joy. For the first time in days, Ethan smiled back. It was shy, fragile, but real. And so they stood together, a family of three and one lonely boy. For Ethan, the night suddenly felt less cold. Ethan followed them hesitantly, unsure if he truly belonged. Yet each step toward their home felt like stepping out of the cold and into hope. Anna opened the door to a home filled with light. To Ethan, it felt like another world entirely. Sophie skipped ahead, proudly showing Ethan the couch, her toys, the family photos on the wall. She welcomed him as if he had always been there. David placed a blanket gently over his shoulders. The warmth felt heavier than the fabric. It felt like trust. At their table, Ethan tasted a real family meal for the first time. Each bite was more than food. It was belonging. Days passed and laughter filled the house. For the first time, Ethan laughed like a child again. Anna taught him small chores, letting him help in the kitchen. It wasn't duty, it was a way of saying, "You are part of us." David held the bicycle steady as Ethan wobbled forward. The boy who once only walked alone was now learning to ride beside family. Sophie and Ethan painted together, their hands messy with colors. For him, it was more than play. It was childhood, returned. That night, he fell asleep without fear, wrapped in warmth. For the first time, his dreams were sweet. 2 years later, Ethan walked to school beside Sophie. The lonely boy on the street was now part of a family's daily life. At school, his hands shot up with confidence. Knowledge and kindness had begun to replace fear. At night, David patiently guided him through homework. Each answer wasn't just about learning, it was about growing strong. Anna straightened his jacket every morning. To her, he was no different from her own child. Ethan laughed as he ran across the field, chasing the ball. At last, he had friends and the freedom to dream. As a teenager, Ethan studied late into the night. He carried gratitude in every effort he made. He brought home medals and achievements, and the family cheered. Their pride was his greatest reward. He grew stronger, helping with chores without being asked. It was his quiet way of giving back. Sophie, no longer the little girl she once was, still adored her brother's stories. He gave her the same warmth he had once been given. Sometimes he stood quietly, staring at their family photo. He knew deep inside everything he was becoming, he owed to them. Years passed, and Ethan stood tall in his graduation gown. What began on a snowy sidewalk had blossomed into triumph. Anna's eyes shone with tears, her hand clasping his. To her, he was no longer the boy she found in the cold. He was her son. David placed a firm hand on his shoulder. His pride was quiet, but stronger than words. Ethan carried his gratitude into the world, helping children who were once like him. He gave back what was once given to him. He returned home not with empty hands, but with gifts and care. The boy once taken in was now the one giving. When Anna grew tired, Ethan covered her shoulders with warmth, just as she once did for him. Beside David, he worked side by side, carrying the weight together. Gratitude had turned into love in action. With Sophie, he shared music and laughter. The bond of siblings had grown deeper with the years. One evening, Ethan stood before them. His voice steady, he said, "You gave me a life, and I will spend mine giving back to you." They embraced beneath the golden sunset, hearts full. A boy once lost had found his family, and a family had found their missing piece.